Senator Sullivan.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr.
Good to see you,
Chairman,
bud.
Captain, thank you very much. Mr. Goffman, thank you for being here again. Third appearance in front of this committee for this position. You really must want it. And but I actually,
In the worst way.
well, no, I appreciate it. Right?
Actually, the best
these
way.
hearings aren't easy, and you go through a lot of questions, and you're hanging in there. So I'm going to start where I left off last time. So I have this chart. I love to show this chart. Let's see. Can you see that chart? Now, you might remember I asked you about this chart in your last hearing. By the way, the national media hates this chart, right? What does this chart say? From 2005 to 2020, the major economy in the world that reduced greenhouse gas emissions more than any other major economy in the world by far was the United States of America. Yay, say it, be proud. The national media hates it because it goes against all climate change, doom and gloom. We're against it. No, you might remember I raised this, and so they fact-checked the hell out of this chart. And guess what? It's true. Can't deny it. Look at this. Reductions of this percentage. And of course, who's the polluter of the world by far? The Chinese Communist Party, India, Iran, Russia. By the way, all the bad guys. The good guys are here, reducing emissions. Now, if you remember when I asked you about this chart, you look a little skeptical, you look confused, you look surprised by it, which surprised me because you're in charge of air. Like, you need to have this chart embedded in your head, okay? And when I asked you, why do you think that happened, you actually said, I think it was maybe EPA regulations. So remember my response to you? What was it?
I remember our time together, and you actually didn't just ask me a question; you tutored me.
I did.
I hope I passed the test this time.
Well, you're gonna show if you need remedial education right now, or if you pass the test. So what do you think happened? Was this have anything to do with EPA regs? Come on, you know the answer. If you say yes, you're gonna fail.
Technology in the market.
Okay, exactly.
Is what I remember from May 25th.
Technology in the market, particularly where?
In the electricity sector, the oil and gas sector, and in particularly in states like Alaska.
Well, revolution in the production of natural gas. That's
George P. Mitchell, right?
Exactly. Revolution in the production of natural gas, right here. That's the answer, for the most part. It has nothing to do with the EPA. Private sector, technology, American innovation is literally helping keep the world clean, okay? So here's my question. If you're confirmed, the EPA is going to have a lot of role, not just domestically, but internationally. John Kerry, who I think is the bane of America's existence on so many issues of security. By the way, he's a White House staffer, right? He's not a secretary, he's not a senator. He couldn't get confirmed in this body if it took 100 years. He is out there internationally saying, well, we don't think countries should buy American LNG. Telling country, you think that's smart? You think that's smart? You think what John Kerry's up to is smart? Assume that what I said is correct. I'd love it if he came out and said, denied it. I didn't do that, but trust me, I talked to foreign governments. He's out there cautioning the Japanese against buying American LNG, for God's sakes, which would make the world cleaner. This is all about clean burning American natural gas. That's it. That's the answer. Every media outlet in America has fact-checked this, and they're like, damn, he's right. So should we be telling foreign governments not to buy clean burning American LNG from Alaska or other places? Come on, this is easy.
I really don't have. I don't think so.
I've idea, never. Isn't it? Let me just give you another. Right now, the G7 group of 7 countries, the G7 industrialized democracies, are looking at their next meetings. I'm hearing rumors that John Kerry is trying to get in the G7 leader statements not to buy American LNG. Like, whose side is this guy on? Do you think that's a good idea? You'll have responsibility over this. Is that a good idea for the environment of the world? Look at that chart. Answer my question.
Personally, I don't think so.
It's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
It's a horrible idea based on science. The Democrats like say, we're the party of science. Great. That's science. So here's the commitment I need from you. I'm just 4 minutes. I'm 4 seconds over. One question. When you guys get, because you do a lot of international work, any proposal from John Kerry or the other climate zealots in this administration, who don't know any of the science, by the way, and they are trying to reduce the export of American LNG, can you commit to me to weigh in on what the EPA say? That is a bad idea for the environment of the world, not to mention national security, for God's sakes. Can you commit to me to do that? Assume that's going to happen.
Senator, I commit to you to carry out the responsibilities of the Office of Air and Radiation.
You just said this was a bad idea. Will you commit to me to telling others, John Kerry and others, that this is a bad idea? You're going to be in charge of EPA's air program.
The reason I'm hesitating, Senator, is I've never been, in my experience working in the Office of Air and Radiation, that question's never come up as a Clean Air Act question. And it's very hard for me to make a commitment based on authority I don't have or that I'm not familiar with having. My personal opinion is not what I'm asked for. I'm asked to apply my expertise under the Clean Air Act. And I don't expect in my current job ever to be asked that question in my current capacity.
The senator's time has expired.
President,
The senator's time has expired.
Mr. Chairman,
All right.
the witness.
The senator's time has expired.
Dodging my question.
The senator's time has expired. We're going to have another round of questions. I invite you to stay and participate in that, okay? Your time has expired.
It would be good if you can answer my question in the next round. Don't dodge it.
All right.
Thank you. I'm going to return to where I was before, and, it's not my intention, Mr. Chairman, to get you upset. I have a lot of respect for you. But these are actually really important issues. And just in the break here, the Administrator Reagan is a G7 delegate. They do a environment and minister statement leading up to the G7. So the questions I'm going to ask you are very relevant. I got a lot of respect for you, but don't dodge my question, okay? We just went through the science of what I was talking about. Assume that what I'm saying is correct. You have people like John Kerry who are trying to make it harder or impossible to export clean-burning American LNG. Not only is this good for our national security, but it's clearly good for the environment. So, assume the hypothetical that you get asked, Reagan gets asked to sign a G7 environment leader statement that would do something like that, which would be against our national security, against the environment, against our economy. What advice are you going to give them, given what you've said to me? Don't dodge me. In your personal opinion, don't tell me you don't have authority. You do. You'll be asked this question. What's the answer? You know what the answer is. Give it to me in this hearing right now in front of Senate. Confirmation.
Senator, I would rather plead guilty to dodging the question than answer a question that I don't feel qualified to answer right now, because this is an issue that I haven't been briefed on by my expert staff. If and when Administrator Reagan asks me for his advice, of course I will give it to him. But in my work, I'm never asked hypothetical questions, and I don't really feel qualified to answer it. And I will admit to you that, to use your words, I'm not answering or I'm dodging the question, but I would rather, in a Senate hearing, answer a question that I'm qualified to answer, and decline to answer questions I don't feel qualified to.
Well, let me just say, this is a huge issue, right? Because we have an administration led by guys like Kerry, who are not Senate confirmed, that guy could never get Senate confirmed, who are fundamentally focused on shutting down the production of American energy, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense for the environment, for the economy, for workers, for national security. Let me turn to a related question. And this is where I do get upset, Mr. Chairman, and I would love to have a damn hearing on it sometime. My state, in the 2 years of the Biden administration, has suffered 44 executive orders or executive actions solely focused on Alaska. 44. There is no state in the Union that is getting this kind of unwanted attention. 44. Crushing the people who I represent and their jobs. So here's my simple ask of you. We have gone to the White House. We have pleaded for a ceasefire on the war on Alaska's economy. I have asked for, at a minimum, with senior officials in this administration, at least give me a heads up when you're going to screw my state again. So can I get that commitment from you? When you guys do a singular rule, focus on Alaska, maybe reach out to us. You know, I did this with the Secretary of Agriculture. Big issue in the Tongass National Forest. You know how we learned about it? Me, Senator Murkowski, Congresswoman Peltola, a Democrat, in the Washington Post. They briefed them for 2 weeks. Never gave us one heads up. Can I get at least a commitment to the respect that I would imagine should come out of the EPA, that if you're going to do another action, not 44, but 45 or 46, it's almost daily with these people, that you call me, call Senator Murkowski, call Democrat Congresswoman Peltola and go, hey, Senator, just a heads up, we're getting ready to screw you again. Can you at least commit to that to me?
When the Office of Air and Radiation takes an action that's going to affect Alaska, I look forward to engaging with you and your colleagues in the Alaska.
Okay, thanks. I have one final question. It's a simple one. It's not a simple one. It's just the EPA is finally confronting a rule that Alaska has been a leader on since the 1970s. That's reducing methane emissions. My state actually re-injects all our gas on the North Slope. 9 BCF a day, almost. Highest standards on the environment in the world by far. Go look at a place like New Mexico that drill, baby drill, spewing emissions all over the place. But here's my question. EPA, however, with their new rule, is deputizing NGOs and other, quote, third-party audits to do this kind of work. This is state of Alaska DEC work. So can you tell me how you're going to do that, say on the North Slope of Alaska, with third-party NGOs? Like who? The Center for Biological Diversity? Who are you going to deputize? This is an EPA and a state of Alaska issue on methane emissions. Can you explain what they're trying to do on this new program that's outsourcing government enforcement rules, probably to NGOs that don't have my state's interest in mind?
Senator's time has expired. Let me just ask this. We're 30 minutes into a vote. 30 minutes are waiting for us to come and vote on the Senate floor. You may not know that, but that's what's going on right now.
You're not going to let him answer that question?
Actually, I'm going to ask him to answer that question for the record. The other thing I'm going to ask is, the way we do stuff in Delaware is when we have differences of opinions like this, we actually get together and talk about it. And if the two of you aren't doing that, please do. Please do before we go through another hearing like this again. All right?